It's the good old JR Jim Ross, WWE Hall of Famer, and you're listening to another wrestling podcast.
It's time for another wrestling podcast.
All right. Welcome to another wrestling podcast. This is episode 190. I'm your Mark of Marks, Credo.
I am back. I am Minority Mike.
Mr. Reliable's back. That's right,
baby.
And I, of course, am the social assassin, Angry Cooter, at your disposal, bitches.
If you haven't seen it by now, ProWrestlingTees.com/another wrestling podcast. There's some new shirts out there. We got the all right shirt, but what else do we have out there, guys?
I'll tell you something right now. Have you ever been blocked? Whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even a phone number. Have you been blocked? Well, if you've been blocked, you should join the Another Wrestling Podcast Blocked Party. Come on, everybody. If you've been blocked, buy the t-shirts. It's a great investment. It shows people that you really mean business and you care about the people that blocked you because they are putting you over right now. I mean, I'm blocked by JBL, Kalisto, Vince Russo, a womanist blocked me. That's a different topic of conversation. I'm blocked by Impact Wrestling. Okay?
You're also blocked by their commentator.
Yes, Josh Matthews blocked. Come on, man. Everybody step your game up.
Buy the shirt. Blocked by Vince Russo as well?
Yeah, I brought him up. Vince Russo, bro. He blocked me, bro.
Twice.
Oh, yeah. Vince Russo blocked me twice. I'm a two-time blocked champion.
That's right. He blocked you, he unblocked you, and then fucking you were a dick to him again, and he blocked you again.
That's right. Minority 2, Vince Russo 0. So if you've been blocked, get a Blocked Party t-shirt. Show everybody that you have been blocked.
What about you, Angry Cooter?
Oh man, I got the fucking Angry 24/7 shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, but the very popular Angry Club t-shirt has taken off. You go to redbubble.com, search Steve Credo, the Angry Club, available in a vast amounts of different t-shirts. I'm loving this shit, bro. You got those tank tops, you got those t-shirts, you got iPhone cases, mugs with my fucking brilliant Angry Club. Yes, it's a Bullet Club parody. Everybody does it, but mine's actually cool.
Maybe I'll have to get some more AWP stuff on that site too, because the funny story about that, everybody, is that Pro Wrestling Tees won't allow any more Bullet Club parody shirts, so we had to find elsewhere for the Angry Club shirt.
It's beautiful. It's got beers, it's got skulls, it's got the beer bottles instead of the bullets, and it's got middle fingers instead of guns, bitches.
If you can't find it on Redbubble, on Twitter, we have the links. On our Facebook, we have the links. So buy a shirt. Support the show, will ya?
Yeah, bitches.
A lot of things are happening, but if you're staying tuned to the show, we got Northeast Wrestling Superstar joining us, Christian Casanova. An amazing match at Lucha Mania. If you haven't seen, against Rey Fenix, Christian Casanova, definitely a rising star in the Northeast. He'll be joining us in a little bit, so stay tuned for that one. Now, guys, Backlash. There's been some backlash with Backlash. A lot of people are talking. At the end of the day, man, this was their first mixed pay-per-view in a while, to where they had the Raw stars, the SmackDown stars, and more star power. But at the end of the day, it stunk. It was just, I don't know. I think the one good match was Seth Rollins versus The Miz, and then after that, nobody cared, and a lot of other shit happened. But guys, Backlash, what did you think?
That crowd for that opening match was just on fire. I mean, when that opening match hit, I thought this was going to be a good night. The crowd is electric. That match was great. And then once that match was over, it went downhill. I mean, oh my God. What bothered me so much about that card was not the whole Roman thing, which we will get into later. Bobby Roode. Oh my God. What are they doing with this guy? he used to be one of the best heels in the company on NXT, and then he comes up to the main roster, and what are they doing with this guy? He was fucking twerking. He lifted up his robe and started twerking, and he's dancing with No Way Jose. Oh my God, guys! I have never been so embarrassed to watch professional wrestling. Imagine sitting down with somebody who has never watched wrestling and they get exposed to that, and you're trying to defend this guy like, well, he was a really good heel, and
It was.
and then you're explaining it to this person, but he doesn't believe you because all he sees is this guy, this Canadian who cannot dance, and he lifts up his fucking robe and starts twerking. I'm embarrassed for him. I really am.
Oh boy, I got to go off on a tangent here, like I tend to do. I might have a little heat on me because of Bobby Roode, gents. I'm just saying. Get this guy who works as the town supervisor where I work, and I've been floating around this picture of Bobby Roode. This dude is like the spitting image of Bobby Roode, except the chubby version. So everyone at the office just starts laughing when they see this picture. And now every time he walks in the office, they play the Glorious theme song.
Well, you guys,
Yes.
I mean, though, overall, though, it's a lot of things. Let me just mention a few quick things and see what stands out to you, because Bayley versus Ruby Riott on the kickoff show. What the fuck has happened to Bayley that it's just all of a sudden she's yesterday's news? Like, she was the tops woman star on NXT, and now she's on pre-show, and it's like we forgot about what Bayley is and what kind of fan she has. One of the top guys right now, Braun Strowman, teaming with Bobby Lashley against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Another, I don't know, it seemed like a Raw match. It didn't seem like a pay-per-view match.
Did you have a problem with that match? I didn't think it was all that bad. I thought it was kind of fun. I mean,
I know. I just feel like these guys could be in different spots right now. It's just a weird mixed.
Absolutely.
It's one of those things.
Absolutely.
It's
But
very
compared-
weird, especially
was-
with what you saw on Raw.
Yeah, but
Draw
but
versus
think of
Bobby
it.
Lashley.
Think of it this way, though. I mean, compared to the rest of the card, outside of the Rollins and Miz match, that was probably third best match of the night.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan, big cast, that wasn't that bad. I mean, it didn't bother me. It was just, probably the placement of it or whatever, but it was alright. But I mean, you got like matches like Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton to where nobody cares. I mean, a lot of people love Jeff Hardy, but at the same time, Randy Orton, it's like, what do we do with him? And I don't know.
That's the problem. I don't think anybody cares about Randy Orton anymore at this point. He's made absolutely, and I think you've made mention of this, Mike, where he has made no changes to his character, to his moveset, nothing in his entire time. And he's a gifted talent. But at the same time, it's like, you got to change with the times, bro. I mean, John Cena has changed characters. This is something we discussed a few weeks back. You got to change your character up, out with the old, in with the new. And he hasn't really changed in years, and it's frustrating the fuck out of the fans. And it just seems like another old guy who won't get the fuck out of the way, or at least do something that makes us want to see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it 5 or 6 years ago, if you had Orton versus Jeff Hardy on the card, it was good. Actually, now that I think about it, I remember the Royal Rumble in Madison Square Garden. I believe it was 2007, where it was Randy Orton defending the title, the WWE title, against Jeff Hardy, and it was a great match. And then this Sunday happens, and you're like, all right, well, Randy Orton can actually work when he wants to, and he's going in there with a guy like Jeff Hardy, so maybe this might steal the show. It might. And then it happens, and you're just like, I've never felt so bored in a match until I watched this one. Like, Randy Orton used to be so good, and I always used to compare him as one of the best gifted talents. I mean, the guy can have a great match with a broomstick, and he goes out there with a guy like Jeff Hardy, and I can barely stay engaged in it. Like, I'm picking up my phone because I'm just not tuned in. It's not.
it.
The whole card I wasn't really tuned in.
Well, he packs. You notice it if it seems like just certain matches, he packs it in. It's like he's on cruise control, because it almost seems like he's got this attitude maybe that he doesn't want to do a job to Jeff Hardy, who's only been back like a little over a year now, and like, I've been here for so long and I've never left, and this guy's gone to TNA twice. But you know what? he's a fresh name. You know, nowadays, I wouldn't say he's changed his character around, but he's gone away long enough to where he still has that, like, oh shit, okay, Jeff Hardy's back, and he's been gone from an injury, so on and so forth. So it's still somewhat fresh. I think people care about Jeff Hardy, but again, I think Orton's the problem in this scenario. If he doesn't feel like you should be on the card with him, he's not going to give you his best.
No, definitely. And one of the surprises I thought of the night was Carmella and Charlotte. Guys, to where I didn't think they would have given her a win. I thought it was maybe like some interference to where, the Money in the Bank winner, she beat her, she got the title off her in like a, not a fair match. And I didn't think they would give her a win right away. And we could probably get into maybe why she won a little bit later in the news, but I was surprised, like right off the bat. And I think I tweeted it. I said something somewhere. Probably in the Marks group, Marks for Life. I was like, Charlotte beat Asuka, and then Carmella beat Charlotte, making her the great. It's like one of those, that old, Jay Lethal shirt where he beat somebody beat Ric Flair and yada yada yada. But are you guys surprised that they gave Carmella a win over Charlotte? Not that it was easy, but it wasn't. There was no funny business involved, I guess.
I don't know.
Clean victory. Clean victory. I don't know. And again, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but there was that report where that, John Cena might be smashing that now. So, maybe, hey, Vince, do me a solid. Take care of Blondie while I'm filming this movie, because I got loads to drop when I come back.
That's a good wingman. That's a good wingman.
Yeah, Vince is a good wingman.
Anytime Cena needs to, tap some ass, he tells him, he's like, I'll get you that push. And he gives him that push, and then he gives them a push.
What
thrust?
What would Vince's reaction to that question be from John? Can you take care of this broad for me, Mike?
Oh, as long as I get to watch my golden goose.
That's about right. That sounds about right. Oh, fuck.
Gotta give it to him strong, pal.
I mean, nobody had a problem, though, with Seth Rollins and The Miz. Great match, great way to start the show. But then, as we ended the show, guys, I think is what everybody's talking about, because fans were walking out. You didn't even finish. I mean, you had even Shinsuke and AJ, and it was okay, but I didn't think it was going to end in another fucking dick fucking punch fight or whatever they're fucking doing with that. There's too many dicks involved in these finishers between AJ and Shinsuke for no reason. But
Credo, you're missing the most important part, though.
What's that?
How the fuck is the WWE title match not closing the show?
I was getting to that. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It was like in the middle of the match, and you're still closing it with Roman and Joe. Like, why? That's not. Oh, there's a lot of heat building up tonight, guys. We're gonna have to release it. But tell me your thoughts on people just walking out on the main event. That's a big signal. That's a big sign. They have to be taking notice on this, right? I mean, we can't be the only ones being like, oh, it's not a big deal. Backstage, I want to know, like, what's going on backstage when this happens, as far as, like, hey, everybody's fucking walking out of this match. Like, nobody gives a shit.
Before we get into that, I just want to ask you a question. So, I mean, everybody, I heard a lot of complaining about why Roman is going to be on last. And I don't like, and we'll get into the whole Roman bashing soon, but on paper, so we're going to play Booker in a way.
Okay.
So, you're looking on paper, you would automatically put that AJ Styles Nakamura last, obviously, because it's for the WWE title, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you saw the match and you saw how that finish went over, would you still put them last?
That's a fair point. No, that's a fair point. But here, let me counter that with this, Mike. It always seems like we have to close the show with the golden goose.
I understand that.
No. Wait. Hear me out here. I mean, look back to when CM Punk was champion, and how many times he would be in the middle of the fucking card, and they'd be closing the show with John Cena against some nobody.
If you want my opinion, I think, and after seeing the reactions lately, if I was playing Booker and I knew this is how this match was going to end between AJ and Nakamura, and I knew how people would get pissed off with the whole Roman closing the show, I honestly would have closed it with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
That's the match, because technically, in my opinion right now, Seth Rollins is without the doubt the most over guy in the company right now.
No question.
He technically is our world champion, because our world champion is nowhere to be found. So that is our champion. So knowing how the AJ Styles and Nakamura match would have ended, I wouldn't have put that on last. I also would not have put Roman on last, because as you know, we saw what happened when Roman went on last. Fans were walking out. I literally walked out of my living room. I went and I was watching it again in my room, and I fell asleep. I woke up and Talking Smack was on, or whatever the show was. Like, I completely missed it because I was just not engaged with it at all. Oh my God, like Roman. I mean, I feel bad for Samoa Joe, because Samoa Joe is a great talent, and he's probably one of the best heels in that company. And he's got to deal with that shit. And I feel so bad for him, because like people are walking out on his match. That's got to be a shitty feeling.
Yeah, and he was poised to be like next in line for that WWE title match, because they had teased to him and AJ Styles, you know. And how does that look credible when now you've had him job out to somebody else on a different roster who's not even a champion at this point? So it just made no sense just to go and have I think it's going to be like, what, their third match now, Nakamura and AJ Styles? Which, okay, I get, maybe something good will come out of that. I don't know, but like, again, you're right. I feel bad for Samoa Joe. He's probably the best heel on that roster in terms of in-ring performance and cutting promos. That dude learned so much from NXT. I mean, he's right up there with the caliber of, say, somebody like The Miz, who's always been a good talker, but now I think he's just as good. How do I want to say this? Him in the ring now compared to where he was, where he started, is a completely different thing. That dude has gotten so much better overall.
No. Well, what do you guys think, though? At the end of the day, Backlash, if you had to give it a grade or a letter, what would you give it as the first grouped pay-per-view of the year for Raw and SmackDown? Any letter, grade, or number? I don't know.
I got one.
What's that?
Z. Fucking snooze fest after the fucking hot opener, bro. How can you shit the bed so fast after a hot opener like that? It's like, what the fuck happened?
Oh man, definitely. Mike, what do you think? Is the ZZ
failing grade?
Failing grade,
only because of the fact that you had so much potential with that opening match, and then I don't know if they rushed the booking to this match or to this card, or they were just so confident that Roman was gonna, get over with the fans and all this stuff. And we'll get more into Roman later, because I got a lot I have to get off my chest about this guy.
Oh, yeah.
But it just, the whole pay-per-view in general, from the Nakamura-AJ match was good until the ending. The IC title match was one of the best matches on the card. Bayley and freaking CM Punk women, or what the fuck is
Ruby
her name?
Riott.
Ruby
Riott. There you go. Sorry, guys.
It's Finch.
Yeah. That was actually a decent match. Other than that, like, the card was horrible.
Nobody knows what we're talking about, but
all right. I got to throw this out there. Credo posts this picture of a Sesame Street character from a movie
Follow
called
That Bird.
That Bird, and it's a female fucking like Big Bird. Her name is Miss Finch, and he posts this picture up.
Google it.
That says that Ruby Riott looked at her. As funny as that was, I gotta ask you, how surprised were you that I, of all people, knew who the fuck that was, and said to you, "Don't you dare disrespect Miss Finch like that"?
I think she looks more like Squidward. In my opinion.
Definitely not be a star campaign on this show tonight, but she's definitely got a beat going. You know what I'm saying? But it's a riot for Ruby. So, guys, I think that's it. I mean, there's the news is happening right now. Let's get into the week that was, because Backlash has been garbage, and stay tuned because I think we're gonna have our own freaking roast to Roman Reigns up in a little bit. So let's just get right into the week that was, shall we? All right, Cooter, you mentioned it a little bit. Let's bring it out. I'm going to give you my 2 cents, and let me know what you think. But the whole Cena-Bella split, they were supposed to get married, actually, this month, apparently. And
on the 5th, yeah.
And apparently Cena's having cold feet, didn't really want, I guess, have kids again or whatnot. Who knows what happened. But, they said they split. Nikki Bella actually came on to YouTube this week saying she's living with Brie and Daniel Bryan, and yada, yada, yada. Then I read another report that she's actually staying at the house at night now because Cena doesn't want her to move since they've been through so much, yada, yada, yada. Guys, no matter what you read or what happens, I say it's a fucking work. They're working us just to watch fucking Total Divas or Total Bellas, just to get that season out there, because they played a preview, and at the end of the preview for the newest season starting in like a few weeks, they show Cena saying like he doesn't think he can go through with it. It's a fucking work, and after this season goes through, I guarantee you they'll be together at the end of the year just for another fucking season of Total Bellas. I think at the end of the day, they know it's money for TV, and I think we're all getting worked. Anyway, what do you guys think? Is Cena just doing this to get laid, or what's happening then?
Dude, let me say this. Daniel Bryan is a lucky motherfucker, if this is true. Getting both them Bellas up in that crib piece, my God.
Twin magic.
I'm sorry, Brie. I'm sorry, Nikki. I forgot. Brie's tits are smaller than yours. My apologies. I didn't mean to walk in the room with a half a heart on. I don't know. Just a thought.
Sounds like the beginning of a bad porn.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? The funny thing is, too, with this whole rumor with Carmella, Mella's been running around yelling, Mella is money. That's her new gimmick.
Yes.
Now I see why. Because she's going to be jumping into money. She's got to understand, now, that with Cena money comes contracts, comes all sorts of shit that she's got to sign. I forgot what that paper is, but the paper stands that if she lives there, he can kick her the fuck out anytime he wants, and she has 24 hours to leave. Like, I mean, good for Cena. Carmella's fucking hot, but, both Carmella's going to be hating life. She's going to be hating life within the next month dealing with this guy, if this is accurate.
I wonder how Big Cass feels.
Both rumors could be pretty valid. Let's be honest. I mean, the Carmella thing, we don't know for sure. So maybe they are broken up. But then again, Credo saying it could be a work, very viable. I mean, again, it's the internet. Who the fuck knows? But I remember reading something about them filming the scene of them breaking up after they've already broken up. They got to film it for TV too.
And saying because if they broke up, there's no more show, right? There's no more show.
Yeah, that's what makes me feel like, okay, it's a work, because why would you film something after it's already happened?
They're
all
working
right,
the
can
world.
You guys do that again? Like, when you kick her to the curb, be a little bit nicer. Because I guarantee you, the real version of that was, Nikki, get the fuck out. There's too many fucking flowers. Your dress looks like shit. Fuck you, bitch.
No, I wouldn't have said that. It would be like, you violated rule number 175A in the Cena household rule book, talking about children, and you have your shoes on in the house. Take them off. You forgot to make your bed in the morning, Nikki, and then you forgot to meet me for morning coffee. Oh my God!
I wonder how much money they're making at the end of the day with that too. Like those TV shows, at least, because that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's a work, because if they're done, they're not going to do another season of Total Bellas. They're not going to do another. Well, Total Divas fine, but not the Bella show. So it's like, if it is, stay tuned to next season.
If I was making that money, I'd be making fucking house rules in my apartment right now.
You're not wrong, Credo. Because let's be honest. Fucking Daniel Bryan's back on the road. He's not going to be fucking, hanging out with Brie as much. Dude, that's a grueling ass schedule. Cena's going to be fucking working, doing his movies. That whole next season is going to be about Nikki,
They're going to
getting
lose
back
ratings.
to herself. You don't know that, bro. It could be an interesting story.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I watched Total Bellas, and not for nothing, I'm not going to watch this season. I'll hear recaps. I'll let people tell me.
If they're working the world, a lot of people are going to be pissed off because that was like headline news everywhere that they split, yada yada yada. So if that happens and they do come back, it's going to be interesting to where no one's ever going to cover wrestling news again because they know they're just getting fucking worked. But guys, we just left Backlash. Money in the Bank is shaping up so far. So far we got Rusev, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, The Miz, and with 4 more spots to be added for the guys. And rumor has it, with their match happening next week, Big E is actually favored to be put into the Money in the Bank match, and also favored to win it. And once again, a grain of salt from the interwebs, as you call it. And it's, they're probably breaking up the New Day. We'll see what happens. But guys, who's left? 4 more spots. If Big E gets in there, then you have 3 spots. But out of the names, at least, that are mentioned now, who do you want to see walk around with that briefcase to become the next champion? And I want to see it become the next champion. I don't want to see no more failed cash-ins. I feel like I want to see guaranteed champions. So who's the next champion? Is it going to be Rusev Day? Braun Strowman? Finn? What? Who's doing it?
I think the best option right now, and granted, I don't know who the next 4 participants are.
Oh, and I forgot too. It's Raw and SmackDown, so it's from each
Raw
show, and then whoever gets it, so and no romance so far.
I'm gonna go with The Miz. I think he's the guy who should get that briefcase, and he's the guy who should cash in and get that title, and then that will build up a long road build up to him versus Daniel Bryan, which everybody wants to see. And granted, like I love the fact that I would have loved to seen Daniel Bryan win and get into the match, but I love how they are keeping The Miz and Daniel Bryan separated. They're not going to be in the match.
Go with what you're saying. Somebody posted this and tell me what you think because it goes with what you're saying. Daniel Bryan wins the WWE Championship SummerSlam. Miz cashes it in on Daniel Bryan to set up maybe a feud for them going against the championship. That would be a cool scenario. I don't know. I saw somebody post that. I had to say that really quick.
Yeah, but Daniel Bryan staying away from The Miz, I think that's great. People, I don't know if people really had any right to complain that Daniel Bryan lost, because a week or 2 ago, people were complaining that Rusev wasn't getting any wins, and then he gets a win over Daniel Bryan, and there's people that were complaining that Daniel Bryan, that's the pot calling the kettle black right there. Just enjoy it. I like the fact that Rusev got in there. I think Rusev needs this match more than Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan doesn't need this match.
No, not at all.
And like I said before, I like the fact that they keep Daniel Bryan away from The Miz. Like, he was supposed to be on Miz TV, didn't make it because he got beat up by Big Cass in the back. Then everybody was like, oh, Daniel Bryan and The Miz are going to be in the Money in the Bank match. They're going to have a square off. No, they're not, because WWE's actually doing a pretty decent job of keeping them separated. It's something that everybody wants to see.
Yeah,
they're not going to give it to us
right
away.
Don't rush it.
And you know what? In some aspects, I shit on how they book things because they like to rush things and they premature ejaculate all over everybody with stuff. But with this one right here, they actually are doing a good job keeping these two separated, because when that day finally happens, I think it's going to be one of the biggest pops in the arena.
He just said everything that I would have said. Like, literally. Thank you for speaking my part of the segment, Mike. Moving on.
But you want to know who I actually think should get into this match, and I think would benefit? It doesn't have to win, but you got Andrade Cien Almas debuting next week. He should be in this match.
Dude, he's been fantastic. Him in the Rumble, him even losing to Aleister Black, his matches with Johnny Gargano. This guy can work with any style. He's just so much fun to watch.
It'd be a good showcase match for him. I don't see him winning it, but it would definitely be a good showcase match to show the fans who don't or haven't watched NXT to understand maybe what he can do, kind of a thing. So
it's kind of like what they did with Ricochet at NXT.
Yeah, EC3 too, kind of thing too, just to bring him in and just to show him without you really doing anything with it. So, but you know what I do? I don't mean to cut you guys off. Now we talk about Andre Cien Almas. Just to make a statement, I'd have him take the U.S. title off of Jeff Hardy. There you go.
All right. I just wanted to throw that out there. Let's get back on topic.
Well, really quick, not to get into it, though, but then you have the women's Money in the Bank match with Charlotte and Ember Moon in it, but still 6 more to go to be added to it. But another little side Charlotte note. Cooter, I don't know if it's something that we've been saying on the show that we kind of just jinxed her, but...
Is this the main event?
No, there's... The Charlotte Hall rupturing her titty. Ruptured her... So she was in the Money in the Bank, and I don't...
Titty?
That's the surprise that we don't know, but
Yeah, which one? Can you imagine if it's the droopy one?
The droopy one. So there's been a report saying that she's supposed to be undergoing surgery soon to repair a ruptured implant. It's reported that it occurred prior to WrestleMania 34, but she held off on surgery so that she didn't miss her match with Asuka.
Good for her.
She's been successfully able to keep it a secret until now. Even ESPN, the body issue photo shoot, managed to shoot around it, they said. It's I don't know. I think they're saying also that she has continued to wrestle because she wanted to work the European tour, which is good money, I guess, for her. But after that, the plan is for her to have surgery. And so that'll be to have some downtime before SummerSlam. I don't know how long you have to be out for a ruptured titty, or I don't know what is it, like 5 months, 6. I don't know what the diagnosis is on that, but
this, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna figure this out.
People get so mad at me because of all the jokes that I make about that botched boo job from the movie It. But let me explain something. I've also said she's the most talented women's wrestler on the roster. She could potentially be the greatest women's champion in the history of the business. She constantly puts on the best matches. You know, she gets herself in great shape for these big events. But, dude, I know I nitpick on this, but, dude, this is the greatest thing that could have ever happened to her after that fucking hacked cloud incident where we got to see that left titty that drooped down like Jim Ross's eye. And and now we finally get to get these things fixed, bro.
Remind everybody, all the hate mail can go to Twitter @AngryCooter.
Dude, don't care. Seriously, if you've seen a picture of me, seriously, my nose is so crooked, it looks like I've been hit like 30 times. I am not a good-looking person. Well, believe me, I take it just as well as I dish it out. It's a joke. But in this case, it's the truth. That is a ugly titty, and I hope she gets them fixed. She deserves it. The bitch works hard. She should have top-quality titties, Credo.
Fair enough. Well, how about this? What do you think about some of these women wrestlers having to get implants? Because, they do some crazy stuff. Charlotte Flair does some crazy stuff compared to a lot of the other girls, but she doesn't need implant. Like, can she just be a women's wrestler and just wrestle? Because what she's doing is, it's a lot of money to put into your chest, and then after all that, to fucking get it ruptured just because you're bouncing on them or flying out of the ring or something, to where she's doing some crazy stuff to have implants, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of silly, I guess, to have it, but does every women's wrestler have to,
No, I don't think she does, and I wonder how much pressure gets put on her to look a certain way, and you feel bad for her, because again, she's the fucking hardest working girl in that locker room, if you ask me. And the fact that, and maybe it's her doing. Maybe she's self-conscious. And you know what? Me saying all this shit probably doesn't make shit to her. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Some people do this to make themselves feel better. They get more confidence. And hey, you know what? Honestly, this will sound stupid. But a chick with a bigger chest who has some confidence might want to work harder. Maybe it's Charlotte's botched titty job that is the reason why she works so hard.
Yeah, I'm on here trying to find like recovery time for ruptured tits, and all I'm finding is I can't find a basic answer. I'm just finding nothing but doctors who can do titty jobs and breast implant removals. And there's this Brazilian guy. You got to go to Brazil for him, and he says he has the magic touch breast implant. Like, no, I can't. It's not. Google is not giving me any straight answers on how long the recovery time to a popped titty cost.
To end the week on some sad news, Big Bully Busick passes away. He was actually one of my first interviews on this show, where we started another wrestling podcast at a New England Fan Fest convention a few years ago. It was a convention filled with some wrestling stars of yesterday and today, and he was one of the guys that we talked to on one of the debut episodes of another wrestling podcast. Really quick, here's just what he had to say when I talked to him.
Big Bully Busick, how does it feel that the WWE named the Bully as having the #1 rated mustache in the top 10 mustaches ever in the history of the WWE?
Well, how about that? That is just absolutely amazing. But I think what's more amazing is it took a lady to pick it out. So you never know what a mustache ride could do. You know what I mean?
Just so one of the comments he made. Great guy to talk to, but just another sad note in WWE. But joining us right now, we have Northeast Wrestling superstar Christian Casanova. Possibly one of the top talents in the industry today. We have Christian Casanova. Christian, man, how's it going?
Steve, it's good, man. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, dude, no problem. Definitely one of the top rising superstars, I think, happening right now in the Northeast. Wanted to get you on, wanted to talk about you, and talk with you. But basically, all in all, man, to start from the beginning, how did you get into this crazy world of pro wrestling? What was the one thing that I guess made you want to be a pro wrestler?
I mean, just like everybody tells you, when you're young, you know, you watch it and you see it. I just remember, as long as I can remember, that I loved wrestling and I loved watching it and I loved doing it with my friends. And I just remember thinking to myself that when I'm older, I'm going to do it. You know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going to do it somehow. As I got a little bit older, towards high school and stuff, I just kind of, it faded a little bit. But once I got out of high school, I had a buddy who mentioned something about like a fantasy camp going on at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. I was about 18 at that time, and he was like, hey, we should try out. Let's try out together. I was like, okay, cool, it sounds good. He ended up pulling out on me. Another one of my friends went, so we tried out, and it was fun. It made me love it again. I remembered why I loved wrestling so much. I remember taking it so serious. Like the week or two, maybe even more than that, I was just working out. And I was so skinny as like 18 years old. You know, I didn't really have any weight on me, but I was just working out, trying to get in the best shape, not knowing what to expect. And then, so I started at that day, fantasy camp, and I just never stopped since.
No, definitely. Now, do you have any other background in sports or whatnot? Because, I mean, you're in incredible shape. Did you do anything else besides before wrestling?
Yeah, I did. Honestly, I did a little bit of every sport. When I was a kid, I was playing baseball every single year. When I was in third grade, one of the high school wrestling coaches, he lived on the same street as me. And what we used to do when we were kids, just like every other kid into wrestling, we would wrestle in our backyard. Mm-hmm. I remember he came over one day. He was like, hey, man, you know, you guys are going to get hurt back here doing this. How about you come to some of the practices, and I'll teach you how to really do it, like how to really wrestle. So in third grade, by fourth grade, I was doing tournaments. So I was doing amateur wrestling tournaments. When I was in sixth grade, I played second Bay State League at like, you're not going to believe it was like 80 pounds or something like that. It was like 2006. So I was doing that, and then I did that all up until freshman year in high school. So once freshman year in high school came, I played baseball, I played football throughout middle school. What else did I play? I did a little bit of track. So, I mean, I was always just staying busy as a kid.
Sure.
Until I got to high school, and then I started, dicking off a little bit and paying attention to girls and other stupid things.
Yep.
And so, but I caught me back where I needed to be. But I do remember when I was doing the amateur wrestling and stuff, I always wanted to do it like WWE style. Like I remember telling him, I was like, oh, well, this is cool, but when can we learn like DDTs and suplexes and stuff?
Yeah.
I remember he was telling me, he's like, man, like you can do all that stuff, and he was trying to steer me away from that. Because I remember him just explaining to me, like, look, that's not real. And at that time, I was still kind of on the edge, just like most kids are. He's like, that's not real. I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, no, it's real. Like, I go to the independent shows that they have. In another story, I was going to independent shows when I was in sixth grade. So I was going and seeing guys, all the guys I'm wrestling now, it's so weird, full circle, like Brian Fury. I remember seeing Kofi. I remember seeing a lot of the guys in the Logan brothers. So many guys that I'm on the same league with now. But yeah, that's really how it got started for me and my background as far as getting me into wrestling now.
No, definitely. Now, what about like formal training too? Who are some of the guys maybe you might have trained with getting into the business, starting out young? Any names that you worked with?
Yeah, of course. Well, to start, the first people that I ever touched, Amado Figueroa was in the beginner ring. Johnny Vegas was in the beginner ring. Those two guys helped me out so much in those early 6 months just to getting into the advanced ring with Brian Fury. Because the way it works at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy is you go to the beginner ring, and when they give you the okay, when Fury gives you the okay, on top of Amado and Johnny Vegas okay, then you can come to the other ring. What they're teaching us was psychology, well, not so much psychology, footwork, basic fundamentals, things like that, just not getting hurt. And then once you get over to Fury's ring, it's all right, hey, you need to think on your own, and we need to kind of figure out who you're going to be. We need to think of a gimmick for you. We need to think of, you need to learn how to play towards the crowd. So then it got really hard, but that's really when it took off from there. Once I got the beginner ring, things just went so fast.
No, for sure. Now, like creating persona for yourself, you got to kind of like adapt to the times and change, if you will. Now, you were known as Thrillanova. Now we're into Killanova. Can we explain that to the fans out there and how that happened?
Sure. The way it worked was when I was brand new, like I was telling you, how you need to come up with a gimmick and a character. I remember, I don't know what I did. Like I was doing something. I love Michael Jackson, just like everybody. But I was, doing something like that at class. Like I was playing around with it, and I remember someone mentioned, I don't even know if it was Fury or Julian or someone was like, "Hey, you should do that more." And at that point, I had nothing, so I figured, all right, you know what, screw it. I'll go along with this, and it was fun for me at that time. So I was going along with it, and it really started taking off for me as far as a baby face. It was really easy for me to do at the point. I didn't fully commit as much as I could have, but man, when I tell you, Steve, I was waist deep in something that I was expecting to be, get my feet wet.
Sure.
So I got really deep into that gimmick. So what I needed to do from that point, a year or two in, maybe almost 3 years in, it's like, all right, I got to get rid of this. I need to be taken serious. I was taking myself serious as a wrestler, as a worker. I wanted to be working with, the guys that are, top guys at the time. So I got told, hey, listen, we're going to change it up. We need you to be a heel. Figure something out. Here's, something to run with. I don't know if you like it or not. It wasn't really what I was planning on doing. So I remember bringing in the chain as like a little prop, and then I had some like sunglasses. They weren't the glasses I have now, but some sunglasses. I really didn't know what I was going to do. I put my hair up, kind of douchey, and I just remember I just kind of had a little bit of an attitude, and from there it just became Killanova. So I mean, the Thrillanova was coming from the Thriller of New England, which is what I was calling myself. So I just Thrillanova with Casanova, I mixed it together, and then once the new gimmick came, it was like kill that. It's a whole new me. So now it's, not Thrillanova, it's Killanova. And then from there, just being a heel really taught me a lot, in ring, out of the ring, character-wise, being person-wise. So, I mean, I learned everything really once I turned heel.
No, definitely. Now, we live in a great location in the Northeast. There's a lot of great companies with independent wrestling and just wrestling in general. But you've worked with Chaotic Wrestling, Limitless Wrestling. From what I've seen you in and what I've got to know you from was Northeast Wrestling. That was probably the first time I've seen you. Can you tell me a little bit of thoughts about working with some of these companies and maybe more recently just working with Northeast Wrestling?
Yeah, Chaotic was definitely the place that gave me my start. That's how it works when you train at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. You'll get into like the countdown deal, which is like a Royal Rumble type of thing where they introduce, newer guys. So that was my first really anything. And then from there on, they kind of gave me a path, to have matches and to get confident and to work guys that are better than me and guys that have been around for longer than me and, learn. And then Limitless came along when I was still doing the Michael Jackson gimmick. They were running like their first show. I was on that first show, and it was kind of like a up in the air show because the wrestling in Maine wasn't all that at the time. So, I did a couple shows for them. I was still in that Michael Jackson gimmick. That wasn't going to work over there. I wasn't being used for a little while. Same thing with Northeast. I did a little bit of Northeast wrestling when I was doing the Michael Jackson gimmick. I think the same thing was going on. That wasn't going to work as far as my gimmick with the Michael Jackson shtick. So, I mean, once I really evolved into where I'm at now, as far as Killanova goes, I got a lot more, people were willing to take a chance on me and just kind of see where I'm at. And like I said, Steve, like, I feel like I was in my element with this gimmick. Like, this was really something that I could run with, as opposed to the Michael Jackson gimmick where I wasn't fully, all in as much as I could have been. But I'm glad I didn't commit more, because then I would have been pigeonholed. But yeah, so those three companies really are the three companies that gave me a shot, that are giving me shots currently as we speak.
No, definitely. And I think most recently, too, with Northeast Wrestling, I think to be taken seriously, I think you've probably had one of your matches of a lifetime so far with Rey Fenix most recently. One hell of a match. The athleticism with you, too, was incredible. Can you tell me a little bit about mixing it up with Rey Fenix recently with Northeast Wrestling at Lucha Mania?
Yeah, I met Phoenix 30 minutes before we went out and did that match. So, I mean, we've never met, we've never touched or anything.
Yeah.
So it was, I was looking forward to that match all week when I found out. Unfortunately, Darby, Yuki got hurt. So they put me in last minute. So when he told me, I actually wasn't even on that show, Steve. He hit me up like a week before. It was like, hey, listen, you're on the show. I didn't even find out who I was working until probably 3 or 4 days before the show. So, I mean, I had 3 or 4 days to kind of get in the mental mindset of, all right, my thoughts going into that match were I really need to make something out of this match. I need to take a lot from this match, and I need to kind of run with it. So I need to really build my name. I even put out a post like, this is a chance, an opportunity to solidify my name and be, a top talent, quote unquote. So I really needed that match to kind of showcase what I'm capable of. But no, working Rey Fenix, man, he was so good, and it's so refreshing to get in there with guys that push you to your limit and make you kind of get on their level. And when you're in there with guys like that, that's the only way that you're going to get better. I'm realizing that as I've been, wrestling more and more, is that those are the type of guys that are going to get you to that next level. Until you're wrestling guys that are better than you, you're not going to get better. So working Phoenix really built my confidence up a lot and made me feel like I'm ready for whatever.
No, definitely. Would you say that was probably one of the biggest highlights for you so far in wrestling, or has there been anything else maybe that stood out to you?
Yeah, that probably would be the biggest highlight as far as match-wise and competition-wise in a match. But I mean, there's so many things that stick out, but that was definitely, and I'm trying to look at it like what's going on now and not, what happened. So, I mean, whatever comes next is the next highlight for me. I'm not going to try and, live off of that one match.
Sure.
I really want to work towards whatever's next. So I'm just looking forward to the future at this point.
Sure. Maybe for fans listening too, maybe somebody who wants to get into wrestling, what do you think maybe any advice for them as far as like maybe the biggest thing that you've learned since being in the business? Maybe something that, I don't know, you could pass along to anybody else listening, that any advice maybe from you?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I remember thinking to myself, and also I see it happen with other people, is if you stick around, things will happen for you. I mean, you don't have to be all that athletic. You don't have to be in that great of shape. I mean, if you love it and you really want to do it, and you stick around and you don't quit, things will happen for you. Because I've seen things happen for guys that when they walk in the door, you're like, who are they? What are they here for? And then they can have matches. Might take a little bit longer, but they'll get a match. But the whole point is just stick to it. Really, it's just like with anything, just do not quit. As cliche and corny as that sounds, really, if you stick to this at least long enough, things will happen for you.
Awesome. And what about?
And you give it your all.
No, for sure. What about even fans who want to get into the business? Maybe any advice on how to steer them in the right direction of maybe some of the first steps they should take?
I mean, it depends on where they are. If they're around this area, definitely New England Pro Wrestling Academy. You're gonna, those guys over at our school, it's just, we put out so many. Just look at Fury's track record. You can flip, Dijak, Briggs, AG, Cam, Brick, Davey, myself. There's just so many good talents that came out of that school and continue to come out of that school, and you just learn it the right way. Not saying that other schools don't teach it the right way. I don't know. I can only speak for the school that I went to, But I just know that this was, the best thing that happened to me, because I could have gone to a different school when I was looking up schools. I mean, definitely do your research, depending on where you are. But I know people have driven from Connecticut, from Maine, to come train at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. So, I mean, definitely number one recommendation right there. And that's not even just me being biased. If I didn't go there, I would have wished I went there.
Nice. And, I can't believe I'm going to say we're almost in the middle of 2018 already, but do you have any other goals for 2018 this year? Anything else that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to the Top Prospect Tournament for Ring of Honor. That's definitely one of my big goals for this year. It hasn't been announced yet. Also, there should be they do camps every couple of months that they, get a look for guys. So, I mean, I'm ready for everything at this point. Like, I just need an opportunity. I need someone to give me an opportunity so I can just show what I can do. I'm just more confident in myself than ever, and I just feel like I'm at the point where I need to kind of make it happen, just for myself and just for career-wise and the things that I feel like I need to learn, I need to get better, and the only way by doing that is challenging myself, getting out of my comfort zone, things that I've been holding myself back for the last couple of years by not doing.
Well, definitely. Well, Christian Casanova, Killanova, I wish I could be talking to you all night, but where can the fans find you on social media if they want to look you up?
Yep, so I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Killanova, and I'm on Facebook as Christian Casanova. And follow me. If you don't follow me, I post some top talent stuff, and I keep up with me.
Awesome, man. No, hey, we appreciate your time tonight, man. We wish you nothing but the best in the rest of 2018.
Cool, man. Awesome. Steve, thanks for having me, bro.
All right. Everybody has been talking about this since the fans were leaving Backlash in the main event. Why is Roman still the guy after how many years so far, and still nobody's behind him? So, guys, let's get into this because I want to hear everybody's thoughts on why. I'm going to throw some things out to you and we'll answer it, but at the top of the bat, guys, why is Roman still the guy? He lost twice to Brock Lesnar in the past few weeks. They're still pushing him as being the uncrowned Universal Champion, and they're trying to play off a whole scenario that, Brock is, Vince's boy when it's Roman and yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, no, they're trying to create a yes movement within, and it's not working because that's not how it goes. The fans aren't that stupid. And it's not working, guys. It's not working. When will the WWE finally realize that, all right, we got to stop pushing this guy. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Granted, he is a talented wrestler. He's a talented guy, but he is not the guy anymore. He's not the big dog. Nobody cares. I mean, he's an entity in WWE, but he is not. The fans aren't behind him. I don't know what's happening, guys. Give me your thoughts really quick on why is Roman still being pushed as the guy when he isn't?
I'm going to throw a kudos to myself out there because months ago I said, if you want Roman off of TV, I think everybody who's camera side, who's facing the camera in the pay-per-view, in the middle of the match should just stand up and turn their backs. Right? And either walk away and just be as quiet as possibly can be. Because their whole reason for really getting on that Roman bandwagon, that's just the look, because he gets that reaction out of you. Like John Cena does. He elicits a reaction whether you love him, you're cheering for him, or you're booing the shit out of him. John Cena gets booed for the right reason. You just don't like the guy. He's not your cup of tea. But he has people who do cheer for him. You got the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chant. I mean, that's fucking epic. And it finally happened. The fans walked out in the middle of a Roman Reigns match. Now, here's the one bad part of this. It's who he was up against. Because it happened against Samoa Joe. So, knowing how Vince thinks, he's like, that fucking fat Samoan. Like, they're going to blame Samoa Joe for that because Roman Reigns is the big dog. Let me ask you this. If you think that that's right, and you probably do, that they would blame Joe for that and not Roman Reigns. If that exact same thing happened in the middle of a match that had John Cena and Roman Reigns, would Roman still be the guy?
I mean, Cena's on his way out anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, this is your top guy. This is John Cena, right? He's you know, not on any brand. You know, that's the guy. Are they going to blame John Cena for that, or are they going to blame Roman Reigns for that? Because, you know, he's got that hard on for Cena, no matter what.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to blame Samoa Joe. I don't think...
Especially the booze going towards Roman Reigns. It's a given. It's Roman.
When they were exchanging the parts that I did see every time... in the beginning of the match, the crowd was hot because Joe beat the shit out of Roman. And the crowd was all hot for it. And then once that bell rang and the match officially started and Roman started having his comeback, it was very obvious to a point where they can't blame Samoa Joe, because every time Samoa Joe had some offense, the crowd kind of woke up a little bit and cheered. And every time the other Joe, the other Samoan Joe, freaking Roman, every time he came back with something, they would just boo and people started walking out. Oh my, don't even get me started with this, but I'm going to have to get started. He's just not the guy. It's just not working. And then the worst part about it is that they go on Raw and they're still trying to push him. I just don't get what they're doing. And the thing is with Roman is granted, I'm not a big Roman Reigns fan, but, I respect him. I respect anybody that goes in the ring, but they're going to really start, and I hate using this term, and I know, Cooter, you hate this term too, but this is legit. You're going to start seeing some legit X-Pac heat.
Oh, God. Based
on this. I am so sick and tired of Roman. I'm so sick and tired of Brock. I could do good without him. Honestly, I keep Roman off TV for a while. That'd be great. Have him come back as a heel. Allegedly, and I don't want to scare people because I don't know how accurate this is, but allegedly Vince is still behind Roman and still going to push him to a point where they might have Roman and Brock at WrestleMania 35. Are you fucking kidding me? Vince is 72, 73 years old. I hope somebody literally puts him in his place and tells him this is not working.
But, Cooter, you said the whole thing with Cena, why is it different than Cena? And I think it goes back to where, I don't think Cena was force-fed as much as Roman was. Because I remember, I don't know what year it was, but it was like they were doing everything Roman, to where Roman's the Slammy Award winner, Roman's the Royal Rumble winner, Roman's, and it was like it was so many things so fast all at once, and it was like, no, stop. I could a gradual build up to build him up as a champion would have been fine, but it was like all of a sudden they were just throwing everything at him so fast that it was like, wait a minute, now I don't care about him.
I'm going to tell you the difference. John Cena is a completely different animal than Roman Reigns. Whether you like John Cena or you hate John Cena, you respect John Cena. He's not the ring general that like Mike likes to say, but he can dictate the pace of a match. He's probably got some of the best matches in the history of the WWE. All right. Roman Reigns is a talented wrestler, but he's not John Cena. He's just not. And
they love his look, and they wanted to make him the next, the boy, the big dog, and it's not happening. Well, let me just read real quick what Dave Meltzer said on the Wrestling Observer Radio with this whole kind of like Daniel Bryan authority storyline.
Dave Meltzer, now who are you, fucking Conrad Thompson?
I like to bring everybody in. I like to bring everybody's opinion in. But he said they're trying to tell the story, and he says I can't believe it because they've been trying for a couple of months, but they're still trying to tell the story that Roman Reigns is Daniel Bryan, and management is screwing him over, and that's why he's not the champion, but nobody buys it. He also says that they're trying to figure out a way to get people to cheer him. We're supposed to think that all these things that have happened, the whole thing that they favor Brock Lesnar, but it didn't work. And I guess for him, whatever reason, though, it didn't work. Nobody has a better idea, so That's what they're going with. So, like, they're still going with this idea. They're trying to recreate that whole movement of what Daniel Bryan went through, of, like, you know, and they're trying to make it up. It's not organic, you know, and that's what's failing them. And I just, it's amazing that they don't see it, or they keep putting all the stuff behind them, right?
Let me get back to my other point because I fucked it up. All right, John Cena had a character that people would get behind. At least from the beginning, he had the basic thugonomics thing. And even when he transitioned over to the whole Marine thing, like, all right, that left a lot to be undesired for some people. But he still had a fan base. Once Roman Reigns left the Shield, nobody really gave a fuck about him. He is a victim because of Daniel Bryan, of all things. And I've said this a few times. That year when Rey Mysterio came in at number 30... and the fans were pissed that it wasn't Daniel Bryan. And they were pissed because Batista was going to win. Remember that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Towards the end of that match, who was in there? Roman Reigns was in that match. And as much as they didn't want to, they started cheering for Roman because they just did not want Batista to win. Vince saw that and like, oh, look at this. Oh, they're getting behind Roman. Ever since then, they've pushed him in your face. They tried they tried putting him against Daniel Bryan before a WrestleMania to try to fucking get him over and get the rub off of beating Daniel Bryan. That wouldn't work. It wasn't organic like what you're saying, but it was because they saw this initial reaction that, holy shit, they liked Roman. Well, no, they didn't like Roman. They just liked him better than you force-feeding Batista. You didn't learn your lesson from Batista.
Yeah. Well,
you got to give the fans what they want once in a while. If you don't do that, they're finally getting to a point where, dude, they could just make your television show miserable. They will boo him out of the fucking building.
Not only that, they're gonna lose a lot of revenue.
No question.
Because if they keep pushing us, like granted, I brought up WrestleMania 35, how that's allegedly, you know, a rumored match. So they're gonna try to do another build-up. WrestleMania is in our backyard next year, and if that's the main event,
I'm not going.
I'm not going.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste my money on that. I'd rather go to all the independent shows around the area and NXT that Saturday.
Absolutely.
And I'll go home and I'll watch WrestleMania in my house. I'm not going to waste the money to sit in that stadium
for 8 fucking hours.
It's not happening. Especially if Roman Reigns is the main event, you're not wasting my time again.
No, absolutely not.
Well, how about the heel turn everybody always talks about? Because everybody's like, oh, Cena needs to turn heel. Cena needs to turn heel. And we get why he couldn't. It's, you know, with the kids and the fans, it's not as easy as what it was with Hogan turning heel back in the day. But
Roman does not have that fan base. So
exactly. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So everybody wanted the Cena to turn heel, but what if could turning Roman just heel save him? Or I don't know, it couldn't hurt him, right? I mean, just giving him something different to work with.
I think if you turn Roman heel, I mean, regardless, I mean, whether you look at it this way or you don't, he technically is the biggest heel in the company right now because of the reactions he's getting. So, but officially turning him heel would benefit him to where he's not as, and I'm trying to put this in words, well, just to make it long story short, it would benefit him a lot more than what they're doing right now, because they could do so much more with a different, like how we talked about Randy Orton, how he needs to evolve. I think it's time for Roman to evolve, and I think it's time for him to change his attitude, to change his swagger, maybe get rid of the whole fucking bulletproof vest that he's fucking wearing, and kind of change up everything, change up his music, give us something different as a heel, and maybe, just maybe, if they do it correctly, it might help him. It might.
And what was good about it, too, is, like, I remember at one point where he wasn't talking, he was coming out to the ring and just beating people up, and that was fine. But then it was almost at that turning point to where, like, we got to make him, like, a fan favorite, and they started making him say stupid shit like suffering succotash, and tried making him, like, a baby face, and it was like, what are you? It was like they started to mold him like, oh, well, we'll just make him the new Cena, or try to make him the new top good guy, and it was just like, stop messing with him. He was fine the way he was, and then you started throwing all these things at him, and then just started pissing everybody off, and man, when will they learn? That's what I want to get to. But guys, out of all the guys going on right now, who do you think should be the big dog? Who should be the top guy right now? Who should they focus on? I mean, just some of the names at the top of my list are Braun Strowman. Look at the fans' response to him. I'm not saying he's going to wrestle a 5-star match anytime soon, but he's a different kind of attraction. The fans are behind him. You got Seth Rollins right now, too, one of the best wrestlers on your squad, and you're using him for a mid-card title. And then look at Finn Balor. I mean, the guy came in as your first Universal Champ. First night on Raw, beats Roman Reigns, had that good momentum, and then it's kind of like, oh, we forgot about Finn. And then you have AJ Styles, too. I mean, out of all these guys, you already have a good lineup of good guys, good top talent. But still, we're pushing Roman Reigns. Guys, any of those names, or did I leave anybody out who's basically the top guys?
Oh, if I have to hear the phrase big dog one more time, I'm going to punch a baby.
Oh, my God. Michael Cole.
It's the big dog.
Michael Cole drives that down our throats. It's fucking annoying.
Let me explain something to you.
It's not cool.
You are not the big dog when every single fucking match you're in, you get the holy fucking hell beat out of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole match. It's like that typical Hulk Hogan match where, you know, he gets a little offense at the beginning and then fucking takes a beating all the way until the end where he hulks up and wins. That's not a big dog. That's a fuck boy who, you know, fucking wins a match by the skin of his ass. You're not a big dog. Okay, that being said, dude, Rollins is the guy who needs to be pushed to the hilt right now. Braun Strowman, I think, needs a little more time. Let it be a little bit more organic. Let him go for a mid-card title. Let him just squash dudes. Let it be organic. You know, don't rush him. I mean, I think he would make a great world champion, but I don't want him to suffer that same fate as a Roman Reigns. I don't want him to get pushed down the throats because he's the big guy. Seth Rollins started from the bottom again when he came back, and he's worked his way up to the point where he, like you said earlier, Mike, is the most over fucking guy on that roster right now as a face. And he's a hard worker, and he's arguably having the best matches on the card every night. The dude worked a match for over an hour on Raw, for Christ's sake. Nobody in this day and age is doing that.
You know, I got to agree with that. I think Seth Rollins is the guy. I mean, he's really doing a fabulous job with that Intercontinental title. And you want to know something? I'm okay with him being the mid-card champion because he's elevating that title. Putting the Universal title on him would attach him automatically with Roman. And right now, I'm happy that they're separated. I don't need to see Roman feuding with one of the best guys on the roster right now. So Seth Rollins is the guy. Finn Balor could be the guy, but and I'm a huge Finn Balor fan. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. But currently right now, I mean, just because of the way that they're booking him, like, it's just, to me, it's not believable. You're going to have to start building this guy up from scratch, like how you did with the Seth Rollins. Yeah. Build him up, make him a believable contender that, yeah, this guy can go up against a guy like Brock. Because if you put up a guy like Seth, you know, months ago, I would not have believed it. But now you put him up against a guy like Brock Lesnar, I can sit here and tell you that I'm looking at this, and I believe Seth Rollins has a chance to dethrone him. Braun Strowman is another guy who I think, like you said, Cooter, is not ready yet, but will be. And I think they could do so much stuff with him. AJ Styles is a guy who's doing a fantastic job over there. And then not only that, you have a lot of guys who you can build up right now. Like Seth Rollins is doing this open challenge, I think, with the Intercontinental title now. It's great. That title gets defended every week on Raw. Awesome. So that's telling me right there we're guaranteed not only surprises, but we're guaranteed good, stellar matches. Let me ask you guys this. Since the big dog is the big dog in Vince's yard, would you be, if you were a video game player, and would you buy WWE 2K19 if Roman was on the cover?
No.
The only thing I would buy with Roman on the cover is a roll of toilet paper.
The Roman
Fair
shit.
enough. Yeah, so that tells me right there he is not the guy.
Well, I want to know what all the fans out there are saying too, guys. AnotherWrestlingPodcast.com. Tweet us at a Wrestling POD. Facebook us, Another Wrestling Podcast. At the end of the day, guys, what do you predict? Can you predict the rest of this year? Look through your magic crystal ball or whatever you got. Where do we see this happening with Roman? I mean, are we going to see him be crowned the Universal Champion? And if that is the case, who takes it off of Roman? What happens? What's your little prediction maybe for the next few months of 2018 and the end of the Roman Empire?
I see a nice feud with Dean Ambrose on the horizon.
Fuck,
No, honestly, you think I'm joking. I'm not even trying to be funny.
I hate
Dean Ambrose. This could, I know you do. This could benefit the both of them. It really could. You know, either one of these guys is, you have a Dean Ambrose turn on a Roman Reigns and play it by ear. See what happens. I mean, have fucking Dean Ambrose be so brutal to him. Make Roman sympathetic somehow. Make the people feel sympathetic or sympathy for Roman Reigns. Let him get his ass whooped, like attacked from behind style.
They might cheer that,
like
though.
In the middle of They're going to cheer that.
I know they are, but I want to see it. So just let me have my dream, my wet dream, you fuckers.
They are going to, as much as they're going to try. I mean, I think they already tried the whole sympathetic thing with how The Office is screwing him over. I think this is going to be an ongoing thing for the next couple months. He's going to come out and he's going to cry about how The Office is against him. They're pretty much trying to push us like how they did Daniel Bryan. Huh. It's going to be a painful couple of months. It really is, especially coming into the hot season. If Roman is still in the driver's seat being pushed, I personally think their revenue is going to go down. I think people aren't going to care anymore. They're not going to be invested. I'm going to invest more of my time in some independent wrestling, and NXT and SmackDown. I'm not going to pay much attention to Raw anymore. And you want to know something too? They're still in contract negotiations with television stations like Fox and USA, and they're trying to push over this huge product, but they're shoving Roman down our throats. Do you guys think this might affect their deal with Fox?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you're going to need somebody cheering.
That's why you put Ronda on Raw, first of all, because you want that big name on the flagship show, and she's going to be, a draw with the mainstream media. Once she's done filming movies in Shark Week and maybe wrestles while she's working for a wrestling company. That being said, I mean, that's something they look for. They look for a marketable big name star that's going to draw them ratings, which in turn is also going to drive ad revenue up for that fucking network. And let me tell you something. If ratings drop and they see the trends where people are complaining about what's supposed to be your top star and you're not giving the fans what they want, dude, your company's not worth as much on an open market.
I'm predicting it now. I'm predicting it. Vince is going to get so fed up, he's going to have Roman come out with his own Universal Championship, and then there's going to be 2 Universal Championships until they have the match again on who is the real Universal Champion. Didn't they do some shit like this years ago? I'm trying to remember what it was, and sorry, kids, we're not Googling it right now. I'm just trying to go off the top of my head.
CM Punk. Exactly. CM Punk and John Cena.
John Cena.
That was booked correctly.
Didn't they even do an Intercontinental with Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels too, right? I forget how exactly it went down. But
WrestleMania 10.
Telling you, man.
Ladder match, dude. Seriously? What the fuck is wrong with you?
There you go.
What kind of a mark doesn't know the fact that it was a ladder match at WrestleMania?
But that was also booked correctly, too.
Well, I just didn't know what belt it was. But I guarantee you, we're going to get to that point where Vince is going to be like, fuck it, just give him a championship to walk out with and see what happens, and we're going to have the Universal Champion versus the Universal Champion SummerSlam.
Give him Taz's FTW title, the Fuck the World belt.
Just give him anything to just... I don't know. Guys, though, I don't know. This is Roman Reigns.
We can't do that. Credo will complain about the name. What about the Samoan Championship belt?
Samoan
Which can only be defended by a Samoan in Samoa.
I love it. You sold me, Cooter. I'm down with it.
Yeah. Love you too, Booker man.
All right, guys. Well, tell us what you think about that. And Roman Reigns, the Roman Empire is falling, and it's just the beginning.
Don't tug your peckers, bitches.